Alright, welcome back everyone. So I do apologize it took forever to get this video up. The last couple of days I was gonna have it up. I ended up getting a toothache, needed to get my tooth extracted yesterday, so I was obviously not in any condition to talk or try and record. So here's the giveaway video. Basically, some of you may already know, some of you may not know. This is going to be for this kit that you see right here, and what this is a 7-pin 3-piece tubular lockpick kit from HUK. They are a Chinese manufacturer. They are on the lower end of quality, but they're not. It's not bad quality. It's not the higher $80-$90 versions for just a single tool. I want to stress this now. There are plenty of versions of this out on the market. There are other Chinese manufacturers. We're going to get them and review them down the line. And then there are also higher end ones. Southward makes a 7 and an 8-pin, which each sell for $90 or so. And you can get the kit. You could get both together for like $160. Goso, Klom make lower end versions like this. Each of them have their own pros and cons and whatnot, so we will get into those later down the road. There are versions that can be converted to do 7, 8, 10 pins. This is just strictly 7 pins because that's pretty much what is very common in the States. I have seen 8-pin tubular locks. I have seen 6 and 5-pin tubular locks in the States, but they are not as common. Everything I have bought online so far has been a 7-pin tubular lock. So for the purpose of this video, that's all we're going to worry about. That's all we're going to talk about, and that's all that this tool is capable of even picking. So what the giveaway is going to be, the details on how to enter for a chance to win this will be at the end, because I will pick one of you. You will get a brand new 3-piece kit with everything that comes included inside of it, and I don't have either of them yet. I'm ordering the kit tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. And because it's going to be about a week before I pull the name, I'm going to give about 6-7 days for everybody to enter, and then I'll go ahead and pull a winner. And then the other thing I have to order too, I'm also going to order one for myself, is it's going to be Sparrow's the Mantis tubular tension wrench, because you need a special tension wrench when you want to try and be able to single pin pick tubular locks, and Sparrow's makes one for like $4 called the Mantis, which I will add to your kit here, so I'll just throw it inside, and that way you also have a way if you want to practice single pin picking tubular locks. You don't really need a special pick. The thinner picks, like the 18 thousandths of an inch and 15 thousandths of an inch, work great, but I have used 25 thousandths of an inch, so just use like a regular short hook. Like I said, the big obstacle to get over is being able to tension these, and there are plenty of different websites and companies out there that make one. I'm going to give Sparrows the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to order one for myself and throw one into this kit. So I also am using the 2 videos, so I'm going to edit them in together. Let me know what you guys think. The second camera view will be in the bottom corner somewhere. It will not be throughout the whole video, just through parts where I think it will help to give a better view. So I want to touch on something. I have not seen this talked about in any YouTube video about this kit. There are 2 versions of this kit, so this video is going to be a little bit longer, but I always say I can't help but give you as much information as possible. When I look up this information for myself personally, I have to watch all these different videos because everybody has different knowledge. I'm not saying any of the other videos are bad, because they're not, but some people try and hurry up and talk about everything. Others just really focus on one thing or just on how to use it. But there was a problem when I first ordered one of these. I saw something in the video that I didn't have, and it wasn't mentioned in the video. Other people in the comments were like, "Hey, I don't have that. I don't have that," and nobody really knew. And I've seen other videos where people say, "Oh, there's 2 versions. The other one doesn't include this," and I'm going to clarify it right now. For anybody who's watching who may have seen some of those videos, there's not 2 versions, that one is more expensive, one is cheaper. The company HUK redesigned this tool, and they completely eliminated one of the main features that I like, and that we'll get into here in a second. So let me go ahead and just show you what I'm talking about. So this is the new version, the new updated version. Not the newest, because they come out with one every year, but so far it's been the same. Nothing has changed. So I have everything in this kit that the 2017 kit has. But they have an order kit, which does not have a date anywhere. And this is the kit that has the old design, which I already have the tools laying out, and we're going to talk about what that difference is and how to use it real quick. So what the big thing that's missing, when I first ordered it, I ordered this brand new kit, right? And let's just talk about what comes in the kit, and we'll get to what's missing here in a second. I'm going to leave these three to the side and show you what is in the brand new kit. So, you get this kit, right? You order it online. They typically range from anywhere between $20 and $35. I hate international shipping. I stress that in so many videos. Finally found a US seller, and I got this in 2 days, and I was very pleased for the price, $22. Actually, he had screwed up one of my orders, and I got this for $8, but I would have paid the $22, no problem. So what do you get in this kit? It's harder and harder to find these old ones. That's missing the one thing, so let's just assume you're getting this new kit, and then I'll tell you what's missing. So this new kit, it's identical to the old one, except one part that is actually missing that they took out. I mean, but everything else is identical. So you get 3 of these picks in here. These are 7-pin tubular lock picks, and it's a 3-piece kit. It comes with it comes with 2 different sized Allen keys. So if you need to replace the pick tips, or take it apart, or the one is adjusting the collar, which is a way to make all the picks to get them centered where you want them to be, I guess is the best way to put it, which I'll explain in a second. So you get 3 tools. I believe the size that they're referring to is in millimeters. So the blue is going to be the biggest. That is 7.8 millimeters, and that would be talking about the diameter of the tool. This is the biggest, and this is the only one I've had to use in the United States so far. Any 7-pin lock I've come across, this is the only tool. The other ones are too small. This one fits perfect. And then they have 7.5 millimeters, which is the purple, so that's the second biggest. And then you have the yellow, which is 7.0 millimeters, and that is the smallest. And like I've said, so far I have not had to even use these other 2 sizes. Also included in the kit, you get the 3 tools, 2 Allen wrenches. The tools come ready to go out of the box, except if you have the older version, the part that's missing is not installed, and I'll talk about that in 1 second. You get a couple extra picks. These are just L-bent shaped pieces of metal. You get 3 or 4 of these in case one of yours break or bend. And then you get some extra O-ring rubber bands, like they're elastic O-ring type rubber bands. Not sure what the proper name is. And you get 2 sizes, and that's because they have 2 different sizes. The bigger size, which you can see right here, there's like 3 or 4 or 5 of them. That is to help hold the picks in place and give them a little bit of friction and tension. I'm going to show this camera view too, so you can see those right there, clear as day. It comes with quite a few extra of those, and then it also has some smaller O-rings, which are not made to go on the outside. And I'm not quite sure what their purpose is, but I'll show you where they're at. So if you look right under here, underneath the picks, you'll see 2 of them. I think that may honestly be just, I don't know. I honestly don't know. All the instructions are in Chinese, and I have not heard anybody elaborately discuss that, but I'm not saying I didn't find the right video either. So you can see those 2 bigger O-rings right here, and then, like I said, these outer ones that are smaller in thickness, but the hole, they expand wider. This is to help tension the picks on the tool, and helps to keep them in place from being able to move around too freely. So that is everything that is included in the new kit. What is missing from the new kit is something called a tension rod. So let me show you something. This is the new kit. If you look in there, you just see that it's kind of hollowed out, and then you see how it only goes down so far, right? New kit, hollow it out just a little bit. Get this camera to focus. It only goes down so far, and then it's solid. The old kit, like I said, has something called a tension rod, which is just this is the only thing, like I said, that's missing in the new kit, and it's not missing. They changed the design. You would get 3 of these identical little bars, which are called tension rods. I have 1 installed. That's why there's only 2 in the bag, and that is what was missing. That's what they took out of the old design, like I said. So if you look at the old design, you see that black hole in there. The other one was just completely solid, and if you look towards the inner edge of this tool, you can see there's a black hole right where my pick is touching. And I'm going to show this camera view. Probably have to spin it around so you can see it because of the light. There you go. So let me get this camera to focus. Oh boy. Alright, well, maybe we can back out and it'll focus. So you see that hole in there? That is for that hole is where you would insert your tension rod on the older version. Now, like I said, they completely took it out. It's not that they just don't include the tension rods. On the older ones, if you slide back one of the picks, you'll see a set screw, a socket screw, and that is how you actually install the tension rod. You would unscrew that set screw, shove the tension rod in there, make it flush with the tip of the tool, and then put your socket screw back in, and then just push your pick back up, and now your tension rod's inserted. Now, I do have it inserted on one of them, the blue one. I keep it inserted on this one because the new one doesn't even have it. So now I have one with the tension rod and one without, and that's the only difference. Other than that, they're identical. It's just you don't have that option to have a tension rod anymore. So here you can see the tension rod is installed in this new one, or I'm sorry, in this blue one. And let me go ahead and show it on this camera. You can see it is installed, and it is almost flush with the surface. It's gotten pushed back from me using it, but normally that's how you'd want it. You would want it to be flush with the rim of the tool. Now, I don't know why they took that out of their design. I am going to try, and that's why I haven't ordered one yet. I've been trying to find one in the States that is the older version. If you're looking for it online, it's hard. Like I said, the newer ones have the years. The one that has the tension rod does not have a year on it, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware. And a lot of people lay out the picture of all the parts, all the extras. Look for these 3 rods in the picture. If it's on eBay, if you see them, contact the seller and specifically ask if that is the actual picture. Make sure that is there, because they may just be using a stock photo and they may not have any idea that that's missing. That they updated the company has updated and removed that. So I found one in China, but I don't think you guys want to wait a month. I can't find any in the US right now, but I have a couple more eBay sellers I need to check with. If not, I may just have to order the new one. I'm really going to try and get you the old one so you have that option. So that is why I'm going to give it another 24-48 hours, and that's half the reason I'm making the giveaway. Give everybody 6-7 days to enter, and whatnot. So basically, that's the difference. I haven't really seen anybody talk about the 2 side by side, and whatnot, so I kind of wanted to get that out there to maybe help. Now I have all these Allen wrenches all mixed up, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and show how this tool works. So like I was saying, we're going to go ahead and use the newer one for now. Just because the tension wrench that we're actually gonna, or the tension wrench, the lock that we're gonna be picking is gonna be this Cobra puck lock. And while I'm talking about the giveaway at the end, I'm gonna show you, if you actually have one of these and really need it for security reasons, on how you can still keep this, which is a nice solid lock, but improve its security in the core. But we'll talk about that at the end. I do have this other lock that I was showing in the beginning. I had kind of ruined this one by picking it so many times with the HUK tool. But I wanted to show you why the tension wrench helps. So not all tubular locks have this, right? They all have at least the one notch, because on the tip of the keys, like this Cobra one, you can see that there is this notch up here. And let me go ahead and show each camera a little bit up close. There's a notch right here. Let me go ahead and show this camera view. And you have a notch on the top of the key. That is for the top of the lock. You can see how there's a notch up here. And then some locks, you know, you can turn them and take the key out. There's another notch where it'll allow the key to come out of, or, you know, provides different locking positions. Like this is a showcase lock, so there would be a tail piece on this. But this one has, you know, 2 outside notches, and then it has this inside notch on this inner circle. Now that inside notch is not on every lock. Let me go ahead and show this camera. So this inner notch right here, it's not on every tubular lock, but it is on some. Now this is where your tension rod would go, and what it will help do is, its name is called a tension rod, so it'll help you with tensioning the actual lock. That's why I kind of wish they didn't take it out, because it's there if you need it. You can still pick this tool without a tension rod. I've used the version without the tension rod many times, and I've had just as quick success, but I do like using the tension rod because it's always just a little bit quicker, but without it, it takes maybe an extra 2 or 3 seconds, so it's nothing game changing. But I think that may be why they took it out. Maybe they felt that it wasn't that necessary, but I still think, you know, it is a good idea, and I really wish they didn't take it out. But that is what the tension rod's for. Now this Cobra lock doesn't have that notch cut out on that inner circle, and you would actually, if you had it installed, the tension rod, you would actually have to take it out to even be able to try and get this thing picked, because if there's no cutout for the tension rod, then you're not going to be able to use it. You're going to have to take it out, like I said twice now. So that is what the tension rod is for. I'm wanting to get that out of the way and show you. So let's go ahead and see about picking this lock. So the tool now, talk about 1 or 2 things, and then we'll pick the lock. So here is the tool, nice up and close. It is, like I said, for the price of $20, it's actually not a bad tool. I have not had any complaints except one, which I will tell you at the end when it is necessary to tell you. So basically how the tool works is it's like an impressioning tool. It has 7 of these picks that go around for each of the 7 pins, and when you're in the lock, what you basically do is you do a pushing motion and a turning motion, and you're turning it the way the lock would open. So in most cases it's going to be clockwise, but some cases it may be counterclockwise, but definitely in ours clockwise. So as you're pushing in, what that's doing is the pins are pushing on the picks, and when they get into the correct, you know, their correct position, as you're turning, all 7 pins will get where they need to go above the shear line, and while you're putting that turning motion on, then the lock will open up. So it's pretty much like a very quick impressioning tool. I have not had to use this more than about 15 seconds before any of the locks that I have that are tubular have opened. So I covered these outer rubber bands. What they do is you could put more on. This one actually has 2 more on because I found it makes opening the Cobra lock a little easier for me. That just adds a little bit more tension onto the picks. That's what those outer bands are for. The blue collar is, I think it has a significant importance to it. We'll talk about that in a second. And then there's your handle. Don't really need to worry about that. The tension rod we already covered. And then there's this little magnetic washer, which allows you to, if your picks are like this where they're all scattered, you know, say I was trying to get into a lock and it didn't work, and I wanted to re-zero them, which would mean put them all up against, you know, the tip of the surface. You would just go ahead and slide that up, and that'll just push all 7 up instantly for you. Now the problem is, out of the box, when you push it, they overextend, right? This is how they come out of the box, and it's not terrible. You can see that they're overextended past that tip there, but that's still not how you want it when you want to go ahead and attempt to pick the lock. You can see all 7 of those pick tips are past the tip of the tool. So most people say, you know, I haven't seen anybody really address this either, but I haven't watched that many. So, but you know, they'll overextend, and then you just push it on a hard surface, and that'll push them, you know, to where it becomes flush with the tip of the tool. That's great. You're in good position. Now your tool's ready to go. But I figured when you unloosen this collar, because at first I read that this was how you tension the tool, and it didn't make sense because it doesn't really move a lot, or unscrew a lot. And what I found out is if you adjust this collar, instead of having to overextend your picks and then hit them on a hard surface, if you just lower them down, because the tips that are bent on the picks, or the bent end I should say, they're going to stop when they hit this collar. So on my blue version, I move the collar down just a hair, and now my picks can't go as far forward because the bent end is going to hit the collar sooner, which allows it to not overextend, but allows it to line up perfectly with the edge, so I don't have to overextend and then hit it on a hard surface. So now, in case I'm in a lock and, you know, say it's not opening and I want to reset them, I don't have to pull it all the way out, you know, push them all the way forward, which would overextend it and then hit it on a hard surface. I could just pull it out. You know, most of them are going to be pushed down a little bit. I'll just push my magnet forward, and because I had adjusted the blue collar down a little bit, I know from, you know, looking that I made sure that the collar was in the right place and none of the pick tips are going to overextend, and boom, I have a quick reset. And I think that is what the main purpose of that collar is for, and it really is a convenience factor. So yeah, that works pretty good. So now let's go ahead and talk about I'll show you the tips real close again, and then we'll go ahead and try and get this lock open, because that's really all there is to this tool. If you need to take it apart, you got the 2 Allen wrenches, Allen keys, and if a pick tip, you know, if a pick breaks, you would go ahead and take all the rubber bands off and take that collar off, and then you could just go ahead and slide your pick. There's little slots for them. It's real simple. Now, the tools do have an arrow on them on showing you which direction to put them in, and if you remember that top notch where the top of your key would line up with, that is where the arrows line up with. It goes right underneath of that top notch. Let me go ahead and show this camera view. So there is your top notch, and if you see, my arrow is directly underneath of it, perfectly lined up just like that. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and pick this one. I'm going to pick the Cobra lock and show you this Cobra lock works real quick, and then we'll show you how to upgrade it while I'm talking about the giveaway. So Cobra lock is a 7-pin tubular lock, obviously. These are usually vending machine locks. I see them all the time on vending machines. Put the key in, and the key cannot come out like this tubular lock. There's another notch cut out on the outer circle for the key to actually come out, and I'll show you that here, because it does work, but it doesn't pick good anymore. So I can turn it, and now I can take my key out, and I'll show this camera. I can put my key in, I can turn it, and now take it out, because there are 2 outside notches for the top of the key. This one is a key retaining style lock, because I cannot take the key out until I lock the lock up. Like, the lock's unlocked, I cannot, there's no other notch I can take it out of. So just a quick little bit of information. Alright, so I got my tool. I don't need the tension rod in, so I'm using the new tool. Basically, I'm just gonna push my magnet up. All the tips you know, should be nice and flush with the surface, because I adjusted the blue collar. If you did not, then you would push up, and then since they would be overextended, you would just push them on that surface, and then you're ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Maybe zoom in on this camera view a little bit too. Alright, so all you do, you line that up, and as you're pushing in, you turn, and it may take 15 turns or so, and boom, that quickly you just unlocked your tubular lock. Now, if you look at the tip of if you look at the tip of your tool, you will notice that I'm going to show each camera individually that the picks have moved. Some are pushed down, some are up higher, and that is because that is what the key would actually look like. So if you have the key like I do, you can match it up and look at the key and see, you know, that the picks on the tool match the depth of the cut on the key, which is pretty cool. There's not a lot of deep cuts until I get to the back here, and it matches up perfectly with the Cobra key that I have. So that's all you do to unlock the lock. Sometimes it's quicker than that. Other times it takes, like I said, about 15-20 tries, and all that is a pushing in motion. You're repeatedly pushing in on the pins and giving it a turning motion at the same time. It's very simple. Now, locks like this that do not allow the lock to be unlocked, you know, without the key still in it. It's not like a shackle lock where you can just lock it back up. You know, the way this locks, I'll show you in a second. We're going to take it apart while I talk about the giveaway, but there's a latch inside of the T handle, so I actually have to lock it back up. Now, you can buy a tubular key decoder. They're like $11. Some of these kits come with them. This one does not. And then you'd be able to, you know, line your key up, and you would just put the tip of the key, like with that top notch. You know, you're going to line that directly side by side with that arrow, and then you're just going to go ahead and count around, you know, starting from to the right side all the way around the back would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I know that was probably a bad camera for you, but I don't have a key decoder to show you anyway, but just telling you the information, I guess, but it's not really that important. Some of the other versions of this tool, especially the high-end versions, have a way where you can lock the picks into place, so you can just use this as a key. This version does not have that, but if you're careful, like I'm going to try and do right now, I'm going to try and lock it back up without having to do the motion again. I can, nope. See, it already, they're so sensitive, it already moved. So to lock it back up, I'm going to go ahead and reset my tool. You guys would have to reset your tool and then hit it on a surface. Make sure that they were all flush. And then even though it's unlocked, you still have to do the same motion until, you know, the pins move, just like that. And now the tool is locked up. Now let's see if I'm careful enough, maybe I'll be able to unlock it without having to, yep. I was able to unlock it without having to do the whole motion because the picks are still in place. So now we have it unlocked again. So that is basically it. I was even able to lock it back up again. So that is the 7-pin tubular lock by HUK. This is their 3-piece kit. Unfortunately, like I said, the newer version is not made anymore. The older version with the tension rods. So I'm gonna try and get you guys that. If you want to see how I make this more secure real quick, we'll do it. Maybe we can knock this out and make it just a 30-minute video. So basically, if you want to enter to win a brand new 3-piece kit and that Sparrow's Mantis tubular tension wrench, all we need to do is every video, I will say in the beginning that we are still doing the giveaway. All you have to do is, what am I going to have you comment? Just comment HUK, H-U-K in parentheses, and I will know. No, you know what? Type in this. Type in HUK giveaway, H-U-K giveaway, and I'll know that you want to be entered in, and you only have to type it once. The next video, the next video, and the next video I make after that, as long as I say in the beginning, you can enter. If you've already entered on any video, you don't need to enter again. Every time I get a comment notification, I'm going to go ahead and write that down on a piece of paper who said it, and you just have to be subscribed. So I will announce every video that it's still going on. Hey, if you want, you could go ahead and I'll show the item. In case you didn't see this video, you can be eligible to, you know, be entered into this giveaway if you just type in HUK giveaway. So I will have the winner announced within a week, and I will let you guys know which version I'm going to end up ordering. I'm trying to get you the old version, but you got to understand that they're not made anymore, so it's whatever's available on the market. So real quick, these Cobra puck locks are universal locks. If you do own one of these, maybe you have a vending machine, do not use this because they are too easily exposed by this type of tool. They make other different cores that will fit in here, and Cobra made this universal T-handle. They have 3 different size holes in it. The Cobra lock is for the far, like if you're looking at it straight on with this slit in the back, the Cobra is on the right, the middle is the highest tool. That was originally made for an alloy T-handle, and then all the way over on the far left would be Medco. Medco recently made a newer T-handle that does not properly fit in here, into the circle that Cobra made for it. So what I ended up doing was I took a drill bit and drilled out the alloy because it was the tiniest, but it was up the highest, and now I have been able to get my Medco lock to fit in the, you know, to fit in the handle a lot better. And this lock, even though it costs $30, the puck lock itself, you know, that came with the tubular core was only $20. But if you own vending machines, you may want to consider upgrading to this, or Abloy makes one for like $20, $25. I know the Medco is $30. Not sure why that was more expensive than the Abloy, but is what it is. They're a lot better choices. This has the anti-drill pins in it. You can see the 3 holes for it right there. They come down and they block the pins, so it's harder to drill in there. This is already a harder lock to pick. This is just an original, but still, you still have to lift and rotate the pins and whatnot. So seriously, if you have a vending machine, you may want to consider getting one of these. Basically, you just order the Medco T-handle. This latch is what prevents it. You can see that it's out because it's in the locked position. If I unlock it, the handle comes in, and that is what allows this core to come out. So unlocked, you just slide it into that hole, and that's all. And now I have a Medco core inside of this Cobra lock, and now you offer a better chance of somebody at least not picking into it. And then when these are on vending machines, they are already doing a nice, you know, a nice solid job because it's a nice hard body on there. So boom, just like that, you've made this lock at least 2-3 times better. So yeah, there you go, guys. I know this is a longer video. I really wanted to cover on a lot of the topics. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate that support. I know some of you guys really don't mind when I ramble on because of the information I provide. And I really wanted to cover both versions of the tool, and also how to upgrade this lock, because why make a separate video when we already have it out? So yeah, now I'm not getting into this lock without, you know, a lot of practice, because Medcos are still hard for me to pick. Definitely take me a minute. But like I said, you have to drill that hole out, because otherwise the hole that's made for it, the core would stick out too much and it would just be too exposed. So yeah, anyway, there you go. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video together, get it up right now. Any video that I say in the beginning, I'm going to show this. And if you just want a chance to win this, you just got to type in HUK giveaway, and I will enter your name. You just have to be subscribed, because I will check. That's all. I will announce the winner in about a week, and I'll let you know every video up until then what's going on with the giveaway. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.